Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at a game that, on paper, seems like, well, nothing happened. A 0-0 draw.
Right, UNC Charlotte versus UAB, 90 minutes, no goals. But that scoreline, it doesn't really tell the story.
Not at all, because we got our hands on something incredible, a detailed scouting report one team used for this exact match. Thanks to our listener for sharing.
And this thing is gold. It's basically the DNA of every player's strengths, weaknesses, and crucially, the exact game plan to break them down.
So that's our mission today. Forget the 0-0. We're using this report to reverse engineer the playing styles, figure out the real keys to the game, and understand how a coach should have aimed to win.
We're talking specific pressure points, individual matchups, the stuff that really decides these tight games. It's fascinating how scouting has evolved, isn't it?
Totally. It's less about just formations now.
It's laser-focused. If you can neutralize one or two key players using these insights, you can potentially unlock their entire system.
Okay, let's dive in. UNC Charlotte first. Offense and midfield. The report obviously mentions Reese Black, number 10. Elite background. U17 national team camp.
Yeah, she's clearly talented, the engine, maybe, but the report suggests the real tactical keys lie in dealing with the attacking midfielders around her.
Like Bailey Manfredi, number 4.
Exactly. Her strength is finding those little pockets of space, very versatile. But here's the catch. The report highlights limited end product, just one assist in, over 500 minutes?
Wow. Okay, so she gets into good spots but doesn't deliver the final ball or shot effectively.
Seems that way. And apparently she's less effective when things get tight, when there isn't much space to operate.
So the tactical advice is pretty clear then.
Oh yeah, very direct. Stay compact. Don't let her turn in those spaces between the lines. You need your holding mid, your number 6, really disciplined.
Force her wide. Deny the quick combinations inside.
Precisely. And the report even notes, if she comes in as a sub, apply immediate touch-type pressure. Don't let her build any momentum. Shut her down, and you can really stifle their transitions.
Okay, similar pattern up front with Evie Craven, number 22. The report mentions high work rate, good pressing.
Yeah, academy player, works incredibly hard. But again, the college end product. It's described as modest.
So how do you counter that? You can't ignore her work rate.
No, you use it against her, in a way. The strategy is about where she receives the ball. Keep her facing away from goal, apply instant pressure to stop combinations.
Makes sense. Limit her touches in dangerous areas.
But here's the smart part of the scout. It warns specifically against sloppy passes in the midfield, because with her work rate, she will create turnovers high up the pitch if you're careless.
Gotcha. Don't feed her strength.
Yeah.
Then there's Naroa Domenech, number 7, flagged as a real goal threat, a creator.
Yeah, consistent threat. But her attacking ambition, that creates the vulnerability. The report says when she pushes high, she leaves space behind her.
Oh, the classic trade-off. So how do you exploit that?
Again, it comes back to that disciplined holding midfielder. You need someone shadowing her between the lines, making it physical, denying easy turns.
But it's more than just shadowing, right?
Absolutely. The key tactical insight is to counter quickly into the space she vacates. You win the ball, and bang, straight into that hole she left. Use her own attacking runs against the team's shape.
So a theme for Charlotte seems to be that their attacking intent, especially centrally, can leave them a bit exposed if you're quick on the counter.
That seems to be a key takeaway, yeah. Let's see if that holds true when we look at their defense.
Okay, switching focus. UNC Charlotte's defense. Where does the report suggest they're vulnerable?
It points heavily towards the outside backs, particularly Rory Brown, number 3. Very attack-minded, loads of assists in high school.
Which is great going forward, but
it means she leaves space behind. That overlap creates a channel for opponents to attack.
a prime turnover opportunity.
Exactly. And the plan is twofold. First, press her first touch. Don't let her get her head up to pick out a pass or cross.
Force the mistake.
Right. And second, the moment you win the ball back, play it immediately into that channel behind her. Isolate their center back against your pace. Punish that forward run directly.
Okay, but what about recovery speed? Autumn Webb, number 11, has a track background. Report says elite pace. You can't just not get past her.
No, you absolutely can't win a straight foot race, so the tactic has to be smarter.
How so?
The report advises using double moves and deceleration. Fake the sprint, make her commit with that elite speed, let her slightly overrun.
And then cut back. Use her own speed against her.
Exactly. It's about changing pace, not matching pace. Outsmarting the speed, making her eagerness to close down a disadvantage. Also mentions targeting her back post awareness on crosses.
Clever. Now the center backs, Landry Olson, number 8, and Penelope Rich, number 18. The report flags limited college minutes or maybe some rust.
Yeah, that's a big flag. Inexperience or lack of recent game time at this level, especially in central defense, is a huge pressure point.
So the advice is,
Target them physically and early. It's not just about being aggressive in tackles, it's about testing their decision-making under pressure, their communication.
rust leads to hesitation. Hesitation breaks down partnerships.
Precisely. Force them to make quick decisions, maybe switch the play often to test organization on their non-dominant side. See if the communication holds up.
And this all connects to the goalkeeper situation, right? Waddington, Protiva, Head, all noted as relatively inexperienced at this level.
It paints a picture, doesn't it? A potentially unsettled or inexperienced backline combined with keepers still finding their feet at this level. That suggests a potential systemic weakness under sustained pressure.
So the overall defensive strategy against Charlotte is
Relentless pressure. The blueprint says, test them early and often, get shots on goal, crowd the 6-yard box intensely on every corner, every free kick, make it uncomfortable.
and press high on back passes too.
Definitely. Force hurried clearances. Don't let that young defense or keeper get comfortable or organized. Create an environment where mistakes are more likely.
Right. Manufacture the pressure rather than waiting for one mistake. Okay, let's flip this. UAB, let's look at their key players, starting with that high-output midfield. Abbey Burns, number 5. Leading scorer, plays every minute.
Yeah, 7 goals. Incredibly durable. She's dangerous. But the report pinpoints where she's dangerous, that central area just outside the box. Zone 14, as coaches call it.
The prime shooting real estate.
Yeah.
So, deny access.
Pretty much. You can't let her receive the ball facing goal in that pocket. The strategy involves assigning a holding mid to track her runs very closely, almost man-marking in that zone.
And keeping the space tight.
Crucially, compact the space between your defense and midfield. Cut off those passing lanes, deny her the second ball she thrives on, make her receive under pressure or wide.
Makes sense. Then there's Kendall Page, number 8. The creative engine, good vision, durable like Burns. If you limit Burns, Page steps up, presumably.
He's the playmaker, yeah. Game-winning assists, sees the field well, so neutralizing her vision is key.
How do you do that?
High pressure. The report suggests a dedicated marker to really shadow her, limit her time on the ball. And here's an interesting angle. Use her durability against her.
How so? She plays 80-plus minutes consistently.
Right, but that means heavy workload. The advice is to press her relentlessly, not just to win the ball, but to wear her down. Make her work defensively constantly. The idea is to exploit potential fatigue late in the game so her quality drops in those crucial final 15-20 minutes.
That's smart. Make her minutes a liability, not just an asset.
Yeah.
Okay, now UAB's forwards seem to mirror that Charlotte issue high ambition potential defensive gaps. Maya Clark, number 12, and Carly Harward, number 21, both flagged for speed.
Incredible speed and agility in both cases, but the report highlights significant weaknesses in defensive positioning and tracking back.
So when UAB loses the ball,
There's space, huge space potentially. The strategy is twofold. Mark them tightly when they have the ball, sure, but the second UAB loses possession, you must transition quickly and attack the gaps they've left behind on the flanks or in midfield.
turn their attacking speed into a defensive problem for their own team.
Exactly. Punish that lack of defensive responsibility immediately.
All right, let's look at the UAB defense itself. Louise Larson, number 20, another speedster on the back line.
Exceptionally fast, yes. But the report notes she struggles under high pressure and, critically, lacks aerial ability.
Okay, so that's a very specific weakness to target.
Absolutely. You pressure on the ground, force quick decisions, but you save your best opportunities for the air. The advice is clear. Exploit her aerial weakness strategically.
Set pieces, high balls into the box.
You know exactly where you're aiming. Put your biggest, most physical attackers on her during corners and free kicks. It's a targeted mismatch.
Then her partner, Trinity Varner, number 27. Stronger positionally, good in the air, kind of the opposite profile.
Yeah, more of a traditional anchor. Solid centrally. But her reported weakness is being less effective when forced to defend in wide areas. She struggles more when pulled out of that central comfort zone.
Okay, so you don't want to attack her strength centrally.
Right. The tactic is to isolate her. Use movement, wide combinations, try to draw her out towards the flanks, test her agility and one-on-one defending in space, where she's reportedly less comfortable and effective than she is commanding the middle.
Pull the anchor out of position. Got it.
And finally, the UAB keeper, Anika Toth, number 1, looks good on paper, high save percentage.
Very skilled shot stopper, yes. The stats back that up. But the report notes something interesting. a tendency to split time with another keeper.
Raising questions about stamina or maybe consistency over a full 90 minutes.
Potentially. And what's fascinating is, despite Toth maybe being individually more skilled than the Charlotte keepers, the tactical advice from the report is basically identical.
Really? So still pressure.
Still maintain sustained offensive pressure,
Yeah.
still crowd the box relentlessly. The thinking seems to be test that potential lack of full match rhythm or stamina, combine that sustained pressure with exploiting specific defensive weaknesses in front of her, like Larson's aerial issues. And you're betting on forcing a mistake or a lapse somewhere, even from a good keeper, especially late in the game.
Exactly. It's about applying cumulative stress until something breaks. It's less about beating her skill directly, more about testing her endurance within a pressured system.
So when you put it all together, this deep dive into the report,
Yeah.
it really paints a picture of two teams with, yes, technical skill and energy, but also really specific exploitable vulnerabilities.
Absolutely. And the keys to actually winning that 0-0 game for either side seem pretty universal based on this report. High pressure on first touches.
Immediately attacking the space left by aggressive fullbacks.
And relentlessly crowding the box on set pieces, testing those keepers and backlines physically and mentally.
It really shows how modern strategy, at least at this level, is so focused on those individual matchups and weaknesses, isn't it? Less about just the overall style.
It really is. It's about finding that one lever, that one player or weak point that you can exploit to unlock the whole thing. Which brings us to the final thought for you, the listener. If you had this report as the coach, which single player's weakness would you make your absolute priority to attack first? Knowing that breaking that one player might just open up the entire game.
Would you go after, say, Rory Brown's attacking runs constantly, trying to get in behind, or maybe relentlessly press Kendall Page, aiming to just grind her down by the 70th minute?
Or maybe target Larson in the air on every single set piece. It's a tough call, knowing where to put your focus for the biggest impact.
A really interesting strategic question, and a great place to leave it. That's all we have time for on this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.